Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday, and welcome to Create With Us Live. Although it's a little funny to say us because it's just me. So, just checking the comments over here, making sure y'all can see me. So wonderful. It looks like you guys are coming in here. So, hello. I see somebody from Indiana. So, welcome. Hey, everybody. So my name is Holly. If you're not familiar with me, I work with Karen and Tim on a lot of stuff. We are business partners, and every so often when she needs to go out of town, she asks me to come and fill in. And so that's where we're at today because they're out of town. So yes, I'm taking over today. So I have a version of a one sheet wonder to show you guys. So I think we all know and love one sheet wonders. And so I thought it'd be fun to do one today. This is a one sheet wonder that you take one sheet and you can make 4 cards, but they don't have to be, they're the same layout, but they don't have to be identical. So I'm going to show you, I don't know, I think I've got 5 or 6 different ways to show you to make this card. So, all right. So you'll just have to bear with me using different tech this morning or this afternoon. And so trying to make sure that I can do that. No, it's not that one. It's that one, maybe. Okay. I think you guys can still hear me. But now you can see my desk. So let me just move a couple things here now that I can see where I'm at. Okay, so you guys know that Karen and I recently launched our crafted collections, which are 2 books full of one sheet wonders. And so this top one has 6x6 one sheet wonders, and then the other one is 6x12 and 12x12. And the one that I'm going to show you today is a 12x12. Now it is not in this book because I'm giving you a bonus. So it's just another option that you have for using one sheet wonders. But these books, many of you know because you've purchased them and you've gotten them, or you know they're on their way. There's all sorts of templates and samples and ideas for you on how you can create. Oh, look at that. We even put a picture of ourselves in the front. So just all sorts of different ideas for using your paper. So because I think many of you relate, us crafters, we do love our pretty patterned paper, right? We all have tons of it. So these one sheet wonders are a great way to give you ideas for using your paper. So not being afraid to cut your pretty paper, but using it up. So today, that's exactly what we are going to do. So this paper, or this card layout, excuse me, I better open my water. I have a little frog in my throat today. So this one, if you were to start with a 12x12 sheet of paper, you're going to be able to cut 4 strips because the strip that we need is 3x12. Now, I'm not going to do 4 of this particular pattern because I wanted to show you, a whole bunch of other patterns and different ways that you can complete this card. But if you were working from one sheet of 12x12, you'd be able to cut 4 of these and make this card. Okay, so we're going to start there. So this paper is cut to 3x12. And I'm going to take it and we're just going to remove our first Post-it note here. And I'm going to score it. Now, technically, we need to score it at 4 and 8. But as most crafters, I don't have enough room right now to put this arm out and score it at 8 inches. So instead, I'm just going to flip it around because that way you only have to remember one number. So we're going to score at 4 from each end. All right. I just saw somebody said you don't have a picture. Can anyone else confirm if you are on YouTube? It looks like somebody on YouTube is having trouble with a picture. Do you guys see me on YouTube? So I just want to make sure. I'm seeing a bunch of comments from Facebook people, but I hate to go through and make this whole card without you guys seeing me. So, okay, wonderful. I'm getting some people saying you can see me on both spots. Wonderful. Okay, so we have scored this at 4 inches from each end. So there we go. And now we have all of the other pieces as well. So I'm going to start with this first one. We're just going to do probably maybe the most basic layout. And then I'll show you some variations that we can do with this card. All right, so our 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 here. I've got my Cajun Craze, and I'm using another piece from the same paper pack, and it's 4 by 5 1/4. So this does turn into a standard size card. So we're just gonna tape this early espresso side here. And then I am going to accordion fold my designer series paper. I need a bone folder. And get that nice and straight. And then I'm gonna fold it back this direction. So let's see here. Let's get that lined up. So we're gonna have a nice accordion fold here, which I'll show you there. So there we go. Got kind of our Z going on there. And that is what is going to go on this card. Now, when we posted the supplies, I think I did mention that you want paper that you like both sides. Now, you don't see both sides right here, but the person who's receiving it is going to see your other side over here. So I would just say pick something where the front and back still looks good together, because you do see both sides on a design like this. And what's fun is that if you're going to cut 4 out of the same piece of paper to do it as a one sheet wonder, you can complete them all different ways. So now I have done this horizontal. We're going to look at some vertical options a little bit later, but I'm going to start with just the basic, and I just messed up, the basic horizontal. So now this is one option, is that you can just tape it straight to your card front. Okay, and it actually kind of looks cute with this paper. So I think I'm not going to try to peel it off, but I'll show you on the next cards. I meant to put this down underneath it first so that we would have another layer. So the nice thing is, Carlos, who's saying about cutting your patterned paper, if you cut it the wrong direction, we're going to look at how we can make this into a vertical card as well. So I will be showing you that here in a second. So for the inside, we need a piece that's 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 to go on the inside. Okay. So that would be our insert, so that you can write your message to your person here. Okay. So we've got that. Now we can finish the front any way that we want. So let me show you. Let's go to another one so we can talk about some finishing ideas. So with this card, whoops, I've already taped together our background 2 pieces and that extra layer that I was telling you about. So this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And the reason for that is I want to layer this right here so I have that extra cardstock border. So I'm going to, where's my score line? I already scored this one. So I'm going to fold it here on my score lines. And we'll look at our first option for how we can finish these cards. So we're going to tape this to the front. I'll have to finish that other one. Posted, but forgot my finishing touches for that first card. Okay, so we've got our pieces all together, and I like this one. I really like having that little border of cardstock right there. So then what I've done for my inside piece is I stamped some words, cue the confetti, and I'm using Banner Sayings, which is a new stamp set that just came out this month. So I'll just set this here because I stamped from it, and that way you know what I'm using. So we've got Cue the Confetti here. And then I've got a tag that Happy Birthday also comes from this. And I am going to grab some cloud cover ribbon. And I'm going to wrap some ribbon. Just do a little bit of a wrap behind my tag. So just a little bit peeking out here. So apply some tape to the back of our die cut. And then I can wrap the ribbon here. And I like to do it where I see from the front so I can tell how much I want to go, you know, up and down. And then we're going to grab our scissors. We'll just trim that off here. And then this one needs to be cut diagonal too. So there we go. So then we can take this whole thing and we will dimensionalize it. So we're going to add some here, and I'm going to also hold down my ribbon, put one right there, and I'll do one more just to help hold down this ribbon so it doesn't slide out from under me. Normally wouldn't need that many dimensionals, but it helps to secure my ribbon. All right, so one option, actually I think I'm going to go over here on the edge because I don't want to cover up this pretty flower here. So we can just complete it with a banner and some ribbon. And then of course we would want to add a little bit of bling to our card. So I'm going to take these little, what are these? Hues of blue flowers. And we'll add just a few of those on our card front. And I'll put another one over here. So one way that you can complete it is just by adding a simple tag there and finishing your first card. So it makes a nice little happy birthday. And it's nice with the words on the left because it just makes sense to pull it then to the left and they can see more information. Okay. So then, let's see, let me move that aside. Let's look at another way to finish this card. And this one, I saw a couple of you commenting on the fact that I'm very Christmassy. With a name like Holly, I feel like you have to love Christmas, right? So I thought we could make a Christmas card. So I can, really quick, we can adhere these layers now. And you can see how you could quickly make a bunch of these cards. So, oh, Diane says she's learning to like the ribbon wrap more than a bow. You know, I tend to agree. Bows, I feel like I have to be more finicky when I'm putting a bow on my card, whereas wrapping the ribbon behind a die cut like that, you don't have to be quite as, well, finicky about it. Okay, so I have my piece of designer series paper, and I'm just going to fold here. I've scored it from 4 inches each direction, and then I kind of line it up and press it down. And now I can apply this to the front of my card. But as I put this on, I'm not quite sure. I feel like some of my snowflakes are kind of a little sideways maybe. So I'm kind of thinking I might like this one this way. because I like the look of like the big snowflake in the middle here, and pulling it up this way. So I think I'm going to do that. So we're just going to put a basic white on the inside so I can write my message. I actually had this in my pile of ones to go horizontal, but as I'm making it, I'm like thinking on the fly, so I thought right in the middle of those snowflakes, I could add a piece of gold foil, and it's going to overlap my designer series paper just a little bit. It's let's see, 3 1/4 inches wide, and I think maybe 1 1/2 this way. It's just a scrap that I had, so I didn't really measure the width. And then I'm going to take a piece of the Christmas ephemera, which is also white and gold, and I'm actually just going to lay it here at an angle. So I just made sure that this would fit at an angle. And then we'll finish it off with some berries to go with the berries and the snowflakes. I'm actually going to see where the berries are right there. I'm actually just going to put some berry embellishments right there. I'll do the same down here. And then we'll add another one right below the Christmas. There we go. So you can also just bring in some strips to finish off the front of your card. So this is where it's fun to make a bunch of just the base card, and you can start to mix and match with some of your pieces. So for example, we've got, get my die cut out of here. If I go back to fall, you know, some of you might not be ready for Christmas yet, so we'll do a fall card here. So when you're cutting 4 of these from one sheet of 12 by 12, what I would do is get them all to this point. Okay, so you've taped them down and they all look like this. And then you can hold on to them until you decide what occasion you need them to be for. And then you could add your tags and sentiments and accents and all the things once you know your occasion. Because this card with the fall print could absolutely be a bunch of occasions. So we'll put our little, oh, where'd my tape? There we go. We'll put our insert on the inside. The other thing I think would be fun is, instead of using an insert like this, is use a die cut. So put a die cut right here instead of a basic tag. Instead of this basic layer, a fun shape just to kind of step up your card a little bit. Okay, so I have stamped Happy Birthday from that banner sayings, and I'm going to grab some early espresso twine here, and I need my Scotch tape. Scotch tape is a gift for us crafters because it can really help hold your ribbon down. So in this case, I am going to, maybe a little bit too big a piece of Scotch tape, but I'm just going to tape my ribbon down on the back. The Scotch tape gives it a little extra security, rather than just maybe your regular adhesive. And baker's twine really likes to come off, I have found, the back of pieces that you're using. So Scotch tape is just a little bit more secure. Gives me a little more peace of mind, you know? Okay, so I've got that. So then we'll take our dimensionals, and I can dimensionalize that. Just empty that sheet of dimensionals. I feel great satisfaction when I empty a sheet of dimensionals. It's like, boom, I did it. I've been a crafting machine. I ran out of dimensionals. Okay, so then I thought, oh, let me just move that down just a little bit. There we go. I thought I'd finish it off with some of the Cajun Craze and gold dots because of the Cajun Craze and gold that's in here. So I'm just going to take one of these. Let's see here. I feel like I need it. I meant to stamp a little bit higher on this. If I did it over again, I would stamp a little higher on my die cut, but I didn't. So here we are. Okay. And then Karen likes to talk about a triangle of embellishments. So we're going to add one up here a little bit higher. So another way to wrap your twine or ribbon around a die cut. So instead of kind of the wrap that we did, let's see, where's that one? This one. So we kind of wrapped the ribbon behind the die cut here. In this case, I wrapped my twine around my die cut. So another way to make that one. And now I'm going to show you some more of those were horizontal. So let's make some that are vertical. So this paper here, let's see here. I've got a bunch of bags of cards here next to me so that we can try out some different options. Okay. So we'll return to our Christmas. And we're going to use Old Olive and Cherry Cobbler as my color combination. So put those stripes here, and then we'll add our 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So these next few, they had to become vertical because of the way that I cut the paper. So when you're cutting your paper, if you find that you cut the wrong, let's quote unquote, the wrong direction, it's fixable. You can still make your card and it's going to be beautiful. So I say quote unquote the wrong direction because it's fixable. We can still get creative and make this layout horizontally instead of, I'm sorry, vertically instead of horizontal. So let me stick this on here. Oh, I'm glad you guys are liking the cards. I forgot to look over at the comments here. But I see some of you saying you like the cards, so thank you. And then this one, I have a Joy ephemera. And I have some, let's see, what is this called? This is gold striped mesh ribbon. And with this one, I'm going to fold it in half. Just a little piece, something that's going to fit right behind my tag. That should be long enough. So I'm going to cut that off. And I am going to, let's see, I think I'll put it down here. Just going to tape down my little piece that's folded in half. Here we go. And then although this is a sticker and I could peel off the backings, I'm actually going to dimensionalize it. So let me get a reach in here in front of me and grab a new sheet of dimensionals. And I'm going to try to squeeze a couple in here. There we go. So then I can put Joy in the middle of my card here. And then I can grab the iridescent foil gems. And, oops, made that a little bit crooked. There we go. And we'll add some gems here. Kind of circle them around. Actually, I'm going to move this one. Move that one over here. Okay, so this was supposed to be our first vertical card. Now I did, if you remember, I on the fly chose to make this one a vertical as well. So we've got the choice here to do opening to the top. So it works with the paper. Now there we go. It says Merry Christmas. It's gold foil, so it likes to collect the light. All right, I think we're almost done here. Let me show you a couple more quick ones with some different die cut options. Now these, I was gonna tape a little bit of them together so you're not seeing the same thing over and over, but it doesn't take very long to put it on there. So we'll put this is cloud cover that I put as my base, and now I'm putting on Secret Sea with the Peace on Earth, Peaceful Garden, something paper. And I thought this was perfect for a vertical card because it looks like the doves are flying. And so naturally, it felt like a vertical card made the most sense. Now you'll notice I'm not always using the front and back of the same designer series paper. So like this one, we've got two different designs, and that's okay. You know, you can look for designs that you like together, but it doesn't have to be front and back of the same piece of paper all the time. All right, so I have stamped Thanks a Million from the banner sayings. And for this card, I cut out a couple of die cuts here in cloud cover. And so I've got a rectangle, and then I've got the banner. And I'm going to take that, and I'm going to stick it here in the middle. And then I'm going to dimensionalize this one as well. And put this on the card front. Karen, I'm glad that you can see many occasions where this would work, because it really does. This card layout, I think you can see, I mean, I've used thank you, I've used Christmas, I've done birthday. There's just a lot of options that you have for this card layout. And I love that you can do it as a one-sheet wonder where you cut 4 from the same piece of paper. And so it's easy to, you know, mass produce, so to speak. So these flowers tie in nicely with the flowers on the designer series paper. So stick those in here. And I think we just have one more. So there's I Can't Thank You Enough and Thanks a Million. So I'll do one more quick one, and then I'll go back and show you all of the cards. One last, because I'm a sucker for Christmas, I had to do one last Christmas variation. Using the Modern Christmas. And in this case, I am using the front and back of the same piece of paper, or same pattern, I guess I should say. So we're going to have the trees and then the night sky. So for this one, I'm actually going to use gold foil as my layer. I adore gold foil. I love it when any of our papers have gold foiling. So using it as a layer just made sense to me. So with my accordion fold here, had to make sure that my stars were going to be reflective of the night sky. There is a direction to these stars, so put that here. And then for my inside panel, I decided to pull out and use the ephemera again for this one. So on the inside, it's going to say, let's see here, Merry Christmas. There we go. And then on the front of the card, I am going to use a strip of gold foil, and I'm going to tape that down, and then I'm going to trim off whatever is extra. So I'm going to do that right across the middle, so it coordinates nicely with that gold foil layer that we have. There we go. I didn't mean to, but I think this is actually my favorite card, so I guess I saved the best for last, because this is my favorite of all the ones that we've made. But you'll have to let me know which one is your favorite. And your favorite might actually be the one that you make. So this will get posted over in the Back Porch Stampers Facebook group so that you can share your own version of this card. And we can all be inspired by your creativity. And so we've got Joy and Merry Christmas. So just think it's so beautiful. Oh, and you know what? We'll stick some of the iridescent gems here. Whoops. I'm gonna put a couple here, and then we'll put our third one on that side. Okay, so let's look at some of these cards. Let me see if I can get a bunch of them in screen. Oh, and this one was, I had already made this one. So Happy Christmas here. You can see that gold foil. And then it opens to the top. We had our other Joy card, Merry Christmas. Here's a fall birthday. Another birthday. And then I got to finish the first one. I forgot to bring a die cut or a way to finish that, so I'll have to finish our other pumpkin card. But that's another option for how you can finish your card. So every week with Create With Us, whether it's me or Tim or Karen or whoever's doing it, we post this over in the Back Porch Stampers Facebook group with a creative challenge. So what that means is you can share your version of this week's card, and then I draw a winner every Wednesday. I post a winner who gets an embellishment sent from us. So definitely go check that out. It's also a great place to get more ideas. If you want more ways to finish your cards, you can go over and check out those posts as well. So, and then if you're interested in even more One Sheet Wonder ideas, don't forget to grab your books. And those of you that have them, show us what you're doing with your books as well. So let's see here. I think if I click this button, maybe it'll work. There we go. You guys, thanks so much for joining me today. I appreciate you being here. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you're making. So craft away and let us see it. We'll see you later.